How to pay for the overhaul of Charlottesville's Friendship Court neighborhood is coming into focus. We break down the proposal. Appeals are denied for two men convicted of taking part in a violent beating in August 2017. Get the latest on the case. But first, a scary situation in Louisa turns deadly. A home invasion robbery costs a man his life and sends a woman to the hospital.
Live in high definition from the area's most experienced news team, this is NBC29 HD News at 6.
Tonight, authorities say a suspect is in custody following a deadly shooting.
Investigators are still piecing together exactly what led up to this home invasion and what, if any, connection the suspect has to the victims. NBC29's Henry Graff is tracking the developing details tonight live from the scene south of Gordonsville. Good evening, Henry.
Steve, Sharon, good evening. Investigators have been out here now for a number of hours. They've been collecting evidence. They've been taking photos around the house here behind me. They are also here in the 7400 block of South Spotswood Trail, collecting that evidence in what is now apparently a heinous crime that is being investigated. The sheriff's elect says they got the call for a woman shot here around 1:40 this afternoon. When deputies arrived, they found that woman and crews flew her to UVA Medical Center for treatment. She is expected to recover and is in surgery right now. While investigating here, deputies though also found a man who had been shot and killed. Authorities are tight-lipped right now about any possible connection between the elderly couple who live in that home and the suspect.
We still have a lot to process here at the scene. We have get search warrants for the residents and some other things that are out here. We have a lot to do.
It's crazy, man. This is a quiet neighborhood through here. Everybody is pretty much knows everybody, and this is pretty shocking.
One neighbor I did speak with told me the elderly couple kept to themselves. He also said he had no clue as to why they would have been targeted here in this area. Now, investigators also say the suspect took off and stole a car from the property where the victims lived. He was arrested late this afternoon in Nelson County, and at this hour we have no details about who that suspect is or what charges he may be facing.
Henry Graff live for us tonight. Henry, thank you. Two men convicted in a bloody beating in the aftermath of the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville will stay behind bars now that Virginia's Court of Appeals today officially denied their appeals. This all stems from the bloody beating of DeAndre Harris inside the Market Street parking garage. Arkansas man Jacob Goodwin and Alex Ramos, who's from Georgia, both appealed last year's malicious wounding convictions in Charlottesville Circuit Court. The Court of Appeals issued its decision this morning, saying the trial court did not abuse its discretion or make an error in either of their proceedings. Goodwin is serving 8 years behind bars. Ramos is serving 6 years. A total of 4 men were sentenced to prison time for their roles in the beating.
Right now, people are rallying in Charlottesville to protest the Trump administration's proposed end to the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, also known as DACA. Members of Virginia Organizing, Sin Barreras Without Barriers, and Legal Aid Justice Center are pressing lawmakers to pass a DREAM Act through Congress to protect DACA recipients. The Supreme Court took up the case today, which could determine the fate of 700,000 immigrants.
Spread awareness, show that the community supports our DACA recipients here in town. They're a functioning member of the community because of what the DACA program gives them access to.
One of the co-founders of Sin Barreras says the group already helped 200 DACA recipients in the Charlottesville-Albemarle area. The Supreme Court is expected to release a decision sometime in the spring.
Students with emotional, behavioral, or mental disorders rely on structure. Now that structure may come to an end for the students who attend the Lafayette School in Flavanna County. That's where NBC29's Lottie Lockhart picks up the story. She's live in our newsroom. Hi, Lottie.
Hi there, Steve. That's right. The nonprofit private school could be forced to close by the end of this month without help. Now the school is on a mission to help make sure that students continue on in the classroom.
It happened really fast. Kind of all of a sudden we were given the notice that our school might be closing.
The Lafayette School serves students from across the Commonwealth with disabilities that may not get the support they need at a public school. 3 weeks ago, the executive director of the school learned the full extent of the financial situation.
We want to be able to pay all of our bills on time. We want to be able to pay all staff on time.
If $67,000 is not raised by the end of the month, teachers and students will feel an impact.
We might close. Our school might close. That's really hard for me to say. It's hard to hear those words come out of my mouth, but that's the truth of the situation. Without that money, our school will close.
Despite the uncertainty, therapists at the school, like Will Luckett, are doing their best to keep the school structure.
We are showing them that we are resilient. I have a thing right there on my door that says you are resilient, and that we believe in this place and that the staff is here for them to continue providing this amazing opportunity, really, that I really don't think exists anywhere else.
Families don't pay for students to attend the private school. State funding comes from the Family Assessment and Planning Team, run through the Comprehensive Services Act, based on the number of students referred there.
That's normally able to be covered without any trouble or difficulty when we have about 12 or 13 students. But at this point, we just have to wait until that state funding comes through.
Now that state funding is expected in January, and an online fundraiser has been started to help with the cost for right now. Now, according to the executive director, 1 in 6 children is suffering from a mental illness, and many of them could be helped by a school like this.
Lottie Lockhart live in our newsroom tonight. Lottie, thank you.
Teachers and students from across the country gathered on UVA grounds in an effort to better support student activism. The Curry School of Education and the Youth Next Center hosted today's conference. Educators, researchers, and students discuss the importance of teachers engaging in dialogue in the classroom. Some say it helps the students feel more supported and prepares them to be part of the nation's democracy.
Sometimes teachers do resist having those conversations if they feel nervous about it, but we're trying to say that, in fact, those are exactly the kinds of conversations that we should be having with young people.
Definitely collaboration. Having that one-on-one bond with your teacher and them actually knowing you more as less as a student and more as a person, a human being.
The Curry School plans to launch online resources in early spring to help guide teachers in having these difficult conversations with students.
A University of Virginia fellow is working to help people better understand the significance of every version of the Black National Anthem. At a Virginia Humanities Fellows Talk in Albemarle County today, Sonia Donaldson discussed her plans to create a website that features performances of the song Lift Every Voice and Sing. Donaldson says giving those performances historical context can help people understand others' relationships with the song and its cultural significance to the song.
To make some sort of determinations about what that data is telling us. So in addition to the performances, we're also looking at what the information about the information tells us or might tell us.
The project is a work in progress, and Donaldson is currently cultivating different recorded performances of Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Plans to redevelop the Friendship Court apartment complex in Charlottesville are now moving forward. Today, housing advocates presented a plan to the city's Economic Development Authority to use tax revenue to help fund this project long term. NBC29's Carly Kempler is in Charlottesville with the latest on the project. Hi, Carly.
Sharon, good evening. The Friendship Court redevelopment will bring more affordable housing to Charlottesville. The whole project will be completed in 4 phases, the first one costing about $35 million. During a meeting today, members of the authority heard from Sunshine Math and from Piedmont Housing Alliance. Mathen plans to request an informal tax increment district over Friendship Court. This means the complex will continue to pay property taxes at a baseline rate, but the increase in taxes that comes from redevelopment will flow directly back into the community to fund future phases of the development.
It has been used in Virginia, but it's been rarely used in Virginia and not used in this way in Charlottesville yet. But it's an important opportunity for getting funding, long-term funding for affordable housing.
Mathen says the primary role of using tax increment financing is to help developments finance their debt. Piedmont Housing Alliance plans to bring this in front of the council by the end of the year.
Carly Kempler in downtown Charlottesville tonight. Carly, thank you.
Broadband access is getting better in Louisa County. The authority there announced today updated public safety equipment will be installed within the next 2 months. It's part of a leasing agreement with the company SCS Broadband. The 2017 plan involved 10 new towers to expand internet access, but was later reduced to 6 towers. 4 of those are now complete, with a 5th under construction. Plans for the 6th have been delayed due to 2 private companies building towers.
If you still need a flu shot, you have a chance to get one for free Thursday in Charlottesville. The Thomas Jefferson Health District is putting its organizational skills to the test with a flu shot clinic. Staff will provide shots to anyone over the age of 3 at the Arc of the Piedmont on Rose Hill Drive from 4:30 to 6:30 that evening. Everything, though, is on a first-come, first-served basis.
And due to the plummeting temperatures, a shelter for the homeless is opening up tonight in Waynesboro.
The Waynesboro Area Refuge Ministry, or WARM, scrambled to pull together an emergency shelter. It only has room for 20 people, though, and the van is picking those folks up now at Constitution Park Pavilion. The beds there are on a first-come, first-served basis, and the shelter's official start date is November 25th.
This cold snap brought the first snow of the season across Virginia. This is a look at the Richmond area this morning, where the snow actually started to stick and coat some cars, but it didn't last too long.
It's the conversational snow.
Oh, yes, it is,
Maybe a little heavier
as
than
is
that.
this. A
Yeah.
similar scene at Wintergreen Resort in Nelson County this morning. Not much accumulation, obviously, seen here on the resort's mountain cam, but remember, it's mid-November.
Oh, yeah, it's starting early for us, isn't it?
That's right,
Ready for
Sharon.
ski season, Eric?
Mid-November, and it feels like midwinter. That's the respect of this air mass. Here's our time lapse from our Charlottesville camera. And again, we had the front that came through this morning. Temperatures were their warmest around midnight, and they've been basically falling ever since. We made it up to 57 early this morning, and right now we're sitting at our new low temperature for the day, 32. So where it stops at midnight will be the recorded low for the day. Air mass very dry. We have dew points in the teens and single digits. So again, you can generate some static electricity if you walk across the carpet and touch a metal object. 24 right now in Stanton, 55 earlier in the day. And you can see most locations now in the 30s across central Virginia, in the teens in the mountains, 20s in the Shenandoah Valley, and we are looking at a frigid overnight, certainly for mid-November. And you look at wind chills here as we venture through the next several hours. We're talking about wind chills basically in the teens to around 20. So bundle up, dress in layers if you're headed outside. Here we are tomorrow morning, upper teens to around 20, 21 degrees for many. So that's our coldest morning yet of the autumn season, and a cold day tomorrow. The wind will be lighter. That's some good news. And while we'll have sunshine, we don't have the warmth. So basically anywhere from the mid-30s to around 40 for afternoon highs here for Wednesday. Again, our average daytime high is around 60, so a big difference there. Matter of fact, we start tomorrow morning, we'll just say either side of 20, but the record at McCormick is 20 set back in 1911, so that could be challenged. 38 for an afternoon high. Another very cold start Thursday morning will rebound into the chilly 40s, and 50s might feel good. So again, yesterday was the warmest day of the week. Now, NBC29's exclusive dual-pole triple Doppler radar, fairly quiet scan. There's still some streamers that come down off the lakes and they generate across the mountains. So again, a passing flurry or something is still possible, but there's the frontal boundary offshore now, and even coastal communities here within the last several hours actually saw a change over to some snow before ending. High pressure is out across the Midwest and the Ohio Valley that will build over the region by tomorrow, setting the stage for that cold start tomorrow morning. And again, a cold day with lots of sunshine here for Wednesday. And here's a look at current numbers. 21 Columbus, 15 Chicago, 19 St. Louis. We have freeze warnings and alerts down across the coastal South Carolina coast tonight. Again, 25 degrees colder than where we were yesterday at this time because we were preceding the front. And of course, that made a big difference in our temperatures that we've dealt with today and certainly tomorrow morning. So upper teens and low 20s to start Wednesday. Lots of sunshine, but plenty cold. Upper 30s to near 40. And another very cold start Thursday morning with upper teens and low 20s. Thursday afternoon rebounding into the 40s, and we'll try to stair-step it up at least through Friday there. So mostly clear, brisk, very cold or even frigid for a mid-November night. Upper teens and low 20s. There's a look at the Michael and Son 7-day forecast. Again, a very cold start tomorrow morning. A well-chilled day here for Wednesday. Another cold start there Thursday morning, and then temperatures stair-step up a little bit here for Thursday and Friday. but a reinforcing shot as some chillier air rolls in for the upcoming weekend. We will keep an eye on some moisture off the southeast coast. Right now, that keeps it toward coastal communities, but again, all those temperatures you see on the 7-day are well below average here for mid-November.
It's cold,
Yes.
especially when you compare it to yesterday.
Yes, indeed.
It
It was balmy yesterday, but no, this is a preview of January-like numbers, yeah.
Well, maybe in January we'll have a preview
I
of March
hear
or
ya.
April.
I hear
I'm
ya.
hoping so.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Eric.
Hey, Flavanna County mom's mission to grow soccer and other life skills among girls is in need of some support. Hear what inspired the Play Like a Girl clinics next at 6.
Hi, I'm Caroline Colburn. The Alzheimer's Association is partnering with Sentara Martha Jefferson Hospital to help caregivers learn how to provide safe and comfortable care during the middle stage of Alzheimer's. Coming up tomorrow morning on your news at sunrise, we'll take you inside the Living with Alzheimer's program.
A Flavanna County mom is drumming up support for a soccer clinic. Her daughter inspired her after other children bullied her because she loves soccer so much. Tiffany Ellingson teamed up with retired Washington Spirit player Joanna Lohman for the Play Like a Girl clinic. It teaches these young women soccer skills and builds their confidence. 39 girls took part last year. Ellingson is getting ready for the second annual clinic in January, but needs sponsors for girls who are facing financial hardships.
Just looking for help from the community to kind of make this happen for these girls. It's kind of like a life-changing experience and something that doesn't come to our area ever. So I'd really like to be able to make that happen for them.
Ellingson hopes to expand the clinic beyond Central Virginia and eventually provide scholarships for girls to join travel teams. We'll see which high school football standout is this week's Falcon Club Player of the Week.
And on the court, Virginia's Mamadi Diakite takes his game to a new level this season. That story next in sports.
Flavanna County High School running back Malachi Hill is the Falcon Club Player of the Week. He rushed for 83 yards and a touchdown Friday in Flavanna's big win over Monticello in the regular season finale. Hill also had 13 tackles on defense, playing linebacker. The Flukos considered that game a playoff game, and the win clinched Flavanna's berth into the postseason.
It feels good to be recognized for your play, but it's not just my play because the only reason I'm recognized because everything that my team does. Really, I just came out, I just ran the ball hard as always and got to the ball carrier on defense, made tackles.
He's a good kid. Malachi's one of those kids I have him in class actually too. He's funny, but he's a middle linebacker, so he's also pretty tough. So it's good mix for him. He's a class clown sometimes, but he's a good student at the same time.
Congratulations to Malachi Hill, our Flow Automotive Falcon Club Player of the Week. The UVA basketball team is off to a perfect 2-0 start this season. Mamadi Diakite leads the team in scoring and blocks and ranks second in rebounding. Diakite knew he would take on a much larger role this season, and so far, he's proven to be up for the challenge. Mamadi Diakite has stepped up his game. The redshirt senior is averaging a career-high 16 points after 2 games, double what he averaged last season. He's shooting 54%, making shots all over the court.
I worked really hard. Every time that I have to do something out of my comfort zone, I try to challenge myself and tell myself, okay, this is not easy, but I can do it.
He's improved, when he first got here, and that's the evolution of a guy who's any of our players who work hard and keep developing.
Diakite returned to Virginia for his senior year after withdrawing from the NBA draft in late May. But he got valuable experience playing in the G League Elite Camp, showcasing his talents for NBA scouts and getting feedback on how to improve his game.
Going through the process, coming back with, Coach Bennett, with Coach Bennett and the staff, they've helped me out a lot with my shot. I made many adjustments until I was able to find the right one.
Prior to the season, Diakite said he wanted to show he has improved as an outside shooter. His first shot against JMU Sunday was this three-pointer, but his forte is still around the rim.
He can never forget his great strengths of being so active defensively, on the glass, offensively, defensively, blocking shots. That's where it starts. If he ever has any amnesia about that, he's making a big mistake for our team and for himself. So he understands that. And from that, we need his offense. He has the ability to one dribble, pull up, or post moves, or shoot the rhythm shots.
Diakite was asked, what's better, a dunk or a block shot? He thought long and hard.
UVA block shot.
Good answer.
Yeah.
The next game for Diakite and the Wahoos is Saturday at noon at home against Columbia. The UVA women's basketball team plays tonight out on the West Coast against Cal State Northridge.
What's nice for UVA, too, is the fans, too, will react to those defensive plays, which doesn't happen at every college basketball arena.
It's a special place in Charlottesville where people appreciate defense more than any place else in America.
All right, Marty, thank you.
Thanks, Marty.
Back in a moment. Tonight, people will sound off about development plans for a big swath of Charlottesville.
And a story we'll bring you first on NBC29 News at 11. The City Planning Commission holds a public hearing on plans for the strategic investment area. That's an area south and east of the downtown mall that could see new restrictions in an effort to create more affordable housing. Details on the plans and what people are saying about them, all new tonight at 11.
All right, midwinter temperatures here in mid-November. These are frigid numbers here for mid-November. Temperatures in the morning, upper teens and low 20s. We've got sunshine tomorrow, but not much warmth. Most numbers will hold at least in the upper 30s to near 40. And after tomorrow night, which will be another cold start early Thursday morning, temperatures will still come up a little bit more in the 40s on Thursday and the low 50s on Friday. But all those numbers on the 7-day are well below average here for November. But at least it's relatively dry. We'll watch the system potentially into the weekend early next week.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Eric.
And thank you for joining us. Nightly News is next. Stay warm. Have a great evening.